Hello, Nero here, and I want to talk to you about B stories. Now, everybody has a B story, even DreamWorks had a B story, and made it into a movie. For people to pay for. In a theater. This feels right. When I was a mere boy of age, honestly, I think this was during my college years or high school years, I was sort of held back in both, and that alone is sort of a story in and of itself. Regardless, this story has to do with one of my worst subjects in school. For me, math was the biggest obstacle in terms of school subjects. When it comes to math, I had to study twice as hard when a test came about, which would then result into grueling hours of studying, frustration, depression, but I did manage to pass my test. Not with an A, of course, no, but happily I earned a B, which is ironic because it wasn't the only B I would manage to acquire that day. So after passing the test, I walked home because of course the buses were running late in Arizona, because for some reason they always run late in Arizona despite the extreme heat. So I walked home, and I felt something strange. And no, it wasn't a heat stroke. That's another story entirely. This time I felt something I rarely feel. Something called happiness? Aww. But don't worry, because life had other plans. Oh, Pooh, that goblin man, boy of A's, seems to have a touch of happiness, don't you know? Cue the tormentor for the story. Now for me, mistake number one was wearing shorts. I am naturally a hairy goblin man. Hair grows across me like grass on a lawn. This is followed with mistake number two. Walking past a bed of wildflowers while wearing shorts. AKA the devil's pantaloons. The buzzing boy came ever closer, and landing on my leg, the chunky buzzer quickly got tangled in my forest of leg hair.
Oh no, I am trapped in some sort of net of goblin man hair. I knows, maybe I can get his attention with a gentle poke.
By the 7 archfiends of the infernal pit, why? This day seemed so well. I got to leave class early, and I got a B on my test. Well, now you got one on your leg. I hate you, life. Now, of course, the bee stung me, but that wasn't the worst part. No. See, the worst part was the fact that it was a struggler. It was in a panic. It wiggled and wriggled about in my leg hair, and I could feel its stinger just tugging and pulling in my flesh like a hook. Eventually, I was able to collect my thoughts and handle this with the utmost rationale. Get off! Get it off me! I just repeatedly slapped at my leg like a crazy person until the bee was free and fell from my leg hair.
You're a brat, but I got you with my... I'm dead.
Now, the good news is I'm not allergic, so I didn't become some sort of balloon boy. Overall, I was fine. Now, of course, the bad news that followed is that my leg was shot. I couldn't move it for the life of me. And so I had to use my good working leg to drag the rest of my body home. Not sure how far away it was, but dragging my dead leg on a blistering hot 112-degree Arizona summer heat made it feel like an eternity. So after the egregious amount of time dragging my dead leg, I made it home. After that long, hellacious walk, that crap brass brown doorknob looked so inviting. I grabbed that doorknob with all my might, burning my hand in the process because it is 112 degrees outside and the doorknob is metal. You can't. My only rational response to this was then to take my shirt off to grab the godforsaken doorknob, only to realize... Door locked? It sounds locked. I bet the back door is probably unlocked, though. Luckily, the dog door was open. Unluckily, this was when I was a fatty, so being a blimp boy, that made this a further nightmare. Darn grilled cheese. So tasty. Stop licking my face, you stupid dog. Yet, through sheer grit, determination, and utter spite towards life, the universe, and existence itself, I got my fat tuckus through that dog door, and only ended up with mild lacerations across my gut and ribs. Yay. After that, I had to search far and wide, but I managed to find some tweezers so I could finally take care of the source of my leg anguish. I gotta ask, you ever see a bee sting after it's out of the bee? It stays in you, like a fishing hook that just pulsates, like its own micro-hellish organism, as it injects you with venom. So long story short, bees are like flying snakes that bite you with their butt. Why would life create something like this? Hiya, and thanks for watching. And hey, what about you? Got any bee stories? Why not share it in the comments? If you enjoy yourself here, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Check the description for links to our social media pages, Patreon, and TeePublic Store. And as always, be sure to tune in to ToonGrin.